Alright, Budget Magic time, playing some Red-Black Threaten. Actually, Mardu Threaten, sorry. Got Eiley and Butcher of the Horde. Yeah, I don't think we can keep the second Eiley. Duress can take Turn Against or Murderous Cut. It's not that bad, though. Our opponent's down to 4 cards, since we both mulliganed. Well, I guess we keep the second Eiley. Like it or not. What are the odds of that are not very high. We scried to the bottom. We only have 3 Eileys in the deck, and drew another one. You gonna address our Murderous Cut, too? Two Eileys might actually not be bad here. I think we need either red or black. We'll take black. Ooh, Outpost Siege will be sweet if we resolve it. Eiley. Eternal Pilgrim. Don't really have much to do with it yet, but it's a creature, has Death Touch. There's the second Duress that we assumed our opponent had. So then take Outpost Siege, yeah, that makes sense. And then take our Murderous Cut. Leave us with just a second Eiley, which doesn't do much. Until they kill the first one. Since it's legendary. But our opponent is also down to 2 cards, so that's good. Ooh, Seagate Wreckage could get annoying. Crumble to Dust hits a land. I'm not really sure what our opponent is trying to do here. I'm very confused. Evolving Wilds, attack with Eiley. So our opponent's down to 1 card, but they might be able to start drawing cards with Seagate Wreckage if they can find another colorless land. Hedron Archive, sure. Well, that lets them draw the cards. We'll get the Mountain here. Altar's Reap is interesting. We could Altar's Reap and play another Eiley. I don't know if that's worth it, though. I think we'll just wait. See what our opponent is trying to do. Thought not Sia. Yeah, I guess they take our Altar's Reap, most likely. Yup. Ooh, Turn Against will be sweet if we ever draw another land. Or 2 more lands for the Eiley. I think we just keep waiting. Actually, that would let our opponent draw a card. That actually isn't that great. If we turned against and then sack Thought Not Seer. Transgress takes our turn against. Our opponent gets themselves empty-handed, so they can start using Seagate Wreckage. Ooh. Well, let's Active Treason the Thought Not Seer. Attack with both. And then, even though it's going to let our opponent draw a card, I think we're just going to sack Thought Not Seer. Awkward. But it also, they were going to draw that card anyway with Seagate Wreckage, so it actually doesn't hurt us very much. Going to draw 2 cards with Hedron Archive. Lots of people trying to play Eldrazi in Standard, like the aggro mid-range Eldrazi. Opponent passes. Ooh, Obligator. We're still a land short, but let's get in with Eiley. Opponent's going to kill it. So we'll just play a second one. pretty close to stealing this game with Obligator. Read the Bones puts our opponent down to 6. They bottomed and bottom both. Interesting. Thought-Knot Seer can take the Obligator. So any threatened effect wins the game here. Well, anyone we can cast. We'll play face down Instigator. And do we want to attack? Yeah, we can attack with Eiley. If they trade Thought-Knot Seer, that's fine. Yep, we get to draw a card. Butcher. Alright, well, we're pretty close to winning. Flipping up this Jeering Instigator has a pretty good chance of winning us the game. Duress sees Butcher. And our opponent's going to pass. Well, let's attack with Jeering Instigator. They drew another removal spell. Murderous Cut. Alright. Now let's see if they can find an answer to Butcher. They do get to draw a card with Seagate Wreckage. Evolving Wilds. Did they find a removal spell? Ooh, Obligator? Alright, let's just go for the win. Just cast this Obligator. No kicker. And that does it. Sweet. Eldrazi, eh? I kind of want more Outpost Sieges. This seems like a grindy kind of matchup. And we can get rid of probably the Altar's Reap and a Fiery Impulse. And let's try it like that. Land heavy. But we'll try it. Opponent immediately cracks Evolving Wilds. Probably not wise. Evolving Wilds, pass the turn. Or Ruins of Oran-Reef. Alright, let's get a mountain so we can leave up Fiery Impulse. Ooh, there's Outpost Siege. Now we'll play Evolving Wilds. Lots of tap lands, unfortunately. We're not going to be able to play Eiley on turn 3 unless we draw an untap land. Duress probably takes our Fiery Impulse. Well, actually, probably takes Outpost Siege. Yep. Luckily, we were up to 4 of those, though. Crack this, get a Swamp. Nomad's Outpost, pass the turn. They can't make us discard off the top of our deck, which is the good news. Their Eldrazi will get huge off of that, though. Read the Bones. Scry 2, draw 2, lose 2. Bottom and top. And a swamp. They might have been looking for the land. Let's just play Eiley here and leave up our Fiery Impulse. That's slightly more important since our opponent has these Ruins of Oran-Reef. If they play a Matter Reshaper or something, we want to be able to kill it before they make it too big to kill. And we have enough mana now. If we ever just draw an Outpost Siege off the top, we get to cast it, which is sweet. Another Read the Bones. Bottom and top, same as last time. Well, let's attack with our Eiley. Opponent's going to kill it. We're going to play a Nantucko Husk and a Windscarred Crag. Opponent doesn't know about this Nomad Outpost yet. Might as well keep him guessing. Another swamp. No red mana for our opponent. I don't know how important that is to their deck. Reality Smasher. I think we're just going to Murderous Cut and discard a land. We'll discard Caves. We actually want the color, or discard Nomad's Outpost because we actually want the colorless mana in case we draw Obligator. Come on, Outpost Siege. Or a big creature. Definitely not a land. Ruinous Path, alright, could be decent eventually. Get in with our Husk. Play the Caves, pass the turn. Oblivion Sower. It's 3 lands and an Eily, so our opponent gets a ton of lands. Man, our threaten effects are so good against big Eldrazi. Gonna pump it up. Cracks a Evolving Wilds. Cracks Evolving Wilds. Cracks Evolving Wilds. Our opponent is a big fan of not waiting on Evolving Wilds, apparently. Smoldering Marsh, that's not bad, because now we get to actually awaken. I guess Windscarred Crag. Get rid of Oblivion Sower. Get in with our Husk. Oh, you get the feeling that if we just draw a Threaten effect, we're in such good shape. Our opponent's probably going to play an Ulamog or something, and whoo, stealing that is just such a huge game. Crumble on Smoldering Marsh? Sure, why not? Maybe they're trying to set up another Oblivion Sower? Says Thought Knot? Another Crumble. We really don't care about our opponent repeatedly casting Crumble to Dust. And we're also lucky that they're not hitting our creature land. Maybe they just have a removal spell for it. Yeah, alright. I guess I should have sacked it to Husk there. Wouldn't have mattered. So our opponent empties their hand, basically. We draw another Fiery Impulse, which may or may not be good. Thought Knot? Kalidas. Alright. Do you want to just double... I mean, double Fiery Impulse. Yeah, I guess we should. Obligator. Yeah, we don't have the mana to kick it anyway, so let's just start attacking with it. Put our opponent to 9. Grip of Desolation. Alright. Our opponent's deck is interesting. They have taken down a lot of our lands to the point where we can't even cast an Outpost Siege if we draw it. We can cast Husk, though. So we just hope our opponent whiffs a few turns. And that's a whiff. And that we draw things we can cast. Like Face Down Jeering Instigator. That's actually a pretty sweet draw. Because it means if our opponent draws a Thought Knot Seer or something, or an Oblivion Sower, we basically just kill them. I don't think we literally kill them, but we get to get rid of the creature and... Our opponent said yay flood, but they are missing the fact that most of those lands are stolen with Oblivion Sower. And you're still drawing spells, you can cast LOL. Our opponent said he cited out 4 lands for our information, but he still flooded out. Well, I mean, yes, fair enough. Yes, whatever. Okay, you flooded out. I'm sorry. You're you're also playing a very interesting brew. Them's the beat. Did they really even flood out? They killed at least 3 of our lands. We had 7 lands. Then they stole 1, 2, 3, 4 lands from us. 1, 2. So get rid of 4. 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. So I mean, I guess they flooded out a bit.